Welcome to Wildcat Sports Update. I'm your host, Jim Boyle, and today in studio I have the senior and senior captain of the boys tennis team. To my right, I've got Evander, Ragsdale, and over there we have the senior and captain, Nick DiGiovanni. We'll start with you, Evander. Just give us a quick rundown of how many years you've played tennis, what you play on the tennis team, and how you got started with tennis.
Sure. I've played high school tennis for 4 years, but this is my first year on this team. I play first doubles with my partner, Tyler Holland, and I got started, well, my dad played high school tennis, so he had me kind of learning when I was young, and my grandpa would take me out like once a year or something to hit, and when I got to high school, I wanted to play a spring sport, and I thought this would be best. So.
Excellent. All right, Nick, how about you?
Yeah, I'm actually on my 5th year on the team because I got a waiver 8th grade to play. But in 8th grade, I had really never played like competitively before. I did a couple camps, like maybe when I was 7 or 8. I just saw the opportunity and I played, and I really enjoyed it. I played baseball until then, but I love tennis, so I kind of switched over.
Singles or doubles?
I play singles, second singles.
Okay, and Nick is the captain, and Evander, we're going to come back to you, is the senior. Evander, what's your role? Do you see your role as a senior on the tennis team?
Well, it's kind of complicated because it is my first year on this team, so there's people like juniors and stuff that have more experience, I guess. I would say I'm not much of a role model, but I do try to like act, demonstrate good sportsmanship and stuff, act the way I'd like to see the rest of the team act,
Okay.
kind of stuff.
So are you enjoying your senior moments on the tennis team?
Yes.
That's good to hear. All right, Nick is the captain, and so first of all, what do you see your role as the captain of the tennis team? And how much do you lean on some of the other players as well?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a pretty important role as being like the longest, most experienced on the team, right? Most years on the team, and I have a lot of young people playing around me. Like I got a freshman at first, Jay's a sophomore at third, and they're not really used to this kind of competition, so you got to kind of keep them up. Really just keep the whole team up because we play some hard teams, especially to start the year. We played Lexington and Arlington and Winchester, and they're going to beat us.
Yeah, we'll go into the Middlesex League a little on. We can talk about how competitive it is. Now, as a senior captain, you're on the AD. Dennis Ingram has instituted what he calls the Captain's Council. I think you've been to at least one of the spring members. What have you taken away from that? What are we really trying to accomplish, and what is Mr. Ingram trying to do? What's your takeaway?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, he's showed us kind of some really important aspects of being a captain, like how to stay up, how to keep your teammates up, how to improve every night even when you're not playing, just thinking about the sport, thinking about being better. And it's all like really helpful stuff, good stuff to like implore on the rest of the team. I don't know the word.
Yeah, good. One of the great things a lot about being a high school athlete are bus rides and team dinners. So we're going to start with you, Evander. We'll give you the bus rides. Is there music? Who controls the music? And what are these rides like with a really wide variety of ages, it sounds like, on the team?
The bus rides are definitely fun. There's music. It's music. Who's in charge of it?
I think Tony's in charge of it, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
But it's definitely fun with the raucous atmosphere, and it's the same whether we've won or lost on the way back too, which is nice.
Okay, that was going to be my follow-up question. But you said it's music. I've owned the baseball buses. So what is music? What is it, a variety, or is it the same thing we're getting to hear?
I would say there's kind of two types. There's like some basic rap type whatever, and then there's what some people might describe as like girly pop, which people sing along to loudly, which is entertaining.
So for the old man in the group, what is girly pop? Just give me one example of girly pop, Evander.
Starships by Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
California Girls by Katy Perry.
Yeah,
A good wide variety.
it's not really been a true theme. It bounces around. It goes from one really like serious, like get in the mood song to just starships. It's funny.
That's good, and it seems like everyone having a good time, which is one of
Yes.
the highlights of high school career.
It's good for morale.
Good for morale. Okay, Nick, to you, what team dinners have you had? Any? What are they like? What are you trying to accomplish with like a team dinner?
We haven't had any yet. We have them planned, I think. I know I'm going to do a couple. We had them last year. They're good just to get the team kind of, we know each other. We're comfortable with each other. We're like just a really light atmosphere at them, playing ping pong and stuff.
Because every sport does something different, and you guys, if there's ping pong, you must have a ping pong table at your house,
Yeah.
or whatever game they played on their phones. Baseball was doing something, Quip something. I don't know what they do.
Quiplash?
Quiplash. There you
Yes,
go.
Jackbox games. Those are good.
So we're gonna have to figure out what that is. Baseball coach will. I want to go on to the team part. Start with you, Nick. You are a singles player, so why don't you give me a rundown of 1, 2, 3 singles, and any other people that will have the opportunity to play singles.
Yeah, first singles this year is Sanjeev Puvanendra Kumar. I really didn't know about him until the Wilmington tournament this summer, and he beat me in the finals. He's really impressive. A freshman, he's ranked in the state. He's been super impressive. He got close to beating Melrose, who I play with. The kid he played, he's a really good player. And then behind me at third singles is Jay. He played last year. He played third singles last year too. He did really well in third singles. Won some important matches for us in states and stuff. He's a really he doesn't get too high or too low. He's a very consistent player. It's really hard to beat.
Are there any other players who are competing for the single spots?
So Tyler, I mean, everybody's kind of had their chances, right? There's been a couple matches. I know I played Tyler at the end of tryouts just to give him a little bit of a shot, but
Tony was gunning for it too.
yeah, Tony. I thought Tony was going to have a really good shot at the start of the year. He still can like hop up like really anybody can.
So I assume those players are players, because I've talked to Evander before the show, that they're playing doubles now, right? So that's a great transition for me. Evander, we're going to switch to you. You play number one doubles. Why don't you number one, number two doubles? Who are the players? Who are you matched up with? And what's the difference for you between doubles and singles?
So number one doubles is myself and Tyler Holland, and number two is Tony, who we mentioned earlier, and Jeffrey Yu. Tony is a junior, Jeffrey is a freshman, and my partner Tyler is a sophomore.
Okay, what do you see the difference between singles and doubles for you?
Well, I haven't played singles on a team. Obviously, like I've played singles in my life, but not like on a team. I would say the biggest differences between singles and doubles is singles just how much you play. Singles, every single point, it's yours to hit. You're always running around, getting every ball. You don't have a teammate to rely on. It's a lot more work. So that and the net play. Okay. There's obviously, in doubles you have to be a much stronger net player to be good at doubles than singles.
Okay. Excellent. Now I at least know what it's like. I tried playing tennis and hurt my knee, so I stopped playing tennis.
You should switch to pickleball.
Pickleball's for old people. Come on, give me a break.
That's why I suggested it.
Oh, come on, Evander. Nick, well, that's seven members. How many people on the team? Who are some other guys we want to give a shout out to?
So there's 10 guys on the team. Nick, Vinny, and Jackson they've been really good players for us. They honestly, I think they're going to get their chances soon, hopping up to doubles, because my coach likes to switch it around a lot mid-season. They've been on the team I think all of them 2 years. Yeah. Jackson 3 years.
Jackson 3.
Yeah, they've been working hard, going after practice, hitting with coach, doing private lessons. All three of them have been impressive, especially recently.
So 10 people on the team, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. What would you consider the strength of the team, Nick?
That's hard to say. I feel like we're strong all around. I feel like we can win any match on any given day. But yeah,
Good players.
We have a lot of good players. Yeah.
Decent team cohesiveness.
Yeah. No like inner issues. No arguments behind the scenes. You know.
That's good, especially since tennis is really an individual sport, except for playing doubles, which is two individuals. So
it's very different from like when I played soccer. The team dynamics just different.
Okay. So where do we, Evander, where do we need to improve? What can we improve on as we go out throughout the season?
Speaking for doubles specifically, consistency. There's been a lot of times where we make like unforced errors, and this goes for both doubles teams. Stuff that we really shouldn't be missing, I guess.
Okay, consistency then as we go
Yeah.
forward. Then Nick, Middlesex League is tough. We talked about it earlier because there's the large schools and the small schools. What's the current record right now? What's the goal for this season record-wise as we go forward? And what's it like playing in the Middlesex League against some of the bigger schools?
Well, right now we're 2-3. I think we could be 3-2. We lost a match. I don't think we should have, but
we'll get them next time.
We will. Yeah, we get to see them again at home. But honestly, for tennis, the Middlesex isn't as bad as for other sports because while there are the top teams like who I mentioned earlier, the Lexingtons and Winchesters that, I mean, we really don't have a chance against. There are a lot of teams that we can play with. Like, we've had winning records a lot of seasons that I've been here, and I think that's a reasonable goal for us this year.
All right. And Evander, what's the whole team goal? Make the tournament?
I wouldn't want to speak for everyone. I would say yes. I at least would like to make the tournament. I believe the rest of the team would agree with that.
Okay, good. And then finally, this year versus last year, I know, Evander, this is your first year, so we'll give this question to Nick. What do you see the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Well, there's a lot of difference. We lost a lot of seniors. 5 starters. I mean, me and Jay are the only 2 returning starters. So we lost a lot of talent last year. A lot of, all these kids that left have been on the team for 5 years because they had gotten waivers too. And
there's only 6 returning players this year.
It was
3 of them are on JV.
It was very weird going to tryouts this year without a lot of those guys that I've been used to playing with for the last long time.
Okay, good. Transitioning to coaching, Coach Malley is your coach. You've been there for a while, and I see him out in the courts all the time, and I do get to interact with him a lot being an assistant baseball coach. This isn't specifically directed at him. I want both of you to answer the question. So we're going to start with you, Evander, then go to Nick. What advice would you give a high school coach, generic high school coach? What advice would you give him to help make them a better coach? Evander, you're first.
Sorry, what advice would I give who?
A high school coach.
Just a high school coach to make them a better coach.
Yes.
I would say you can be a little bit harsh. Make sure that they know where they need to improve, but overall you got to be fair.
Okay. Be tough, firm but fair.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Nick, same with you.
I feel like a big part of being a coach is outreach to the younger players, making them want to join the team, want to play for you. And I think Maley does a really good job with that because he coaches everything through the town. I mean, before I had played on the team, I had played with him in camps, when I was real young, like I said, 8 or 9. So I was excited to play for him.
Okay, keeping with the Coach Malley theme, what's one thing that you've learned from your 5 years with Coach Malley?
Well, I mean,
learn from him.
Everything technically, because he's really the only tennis coach I've ever had. But just to stay level throughout the match, not get too high on yourself when you win a big serve, a big point, or hit a big serve, and not to get down when you're playing a really good player and just not winning too many points.
All right, Evander, same question to you. I know you only had Coach Malley for 1 year. Mm-hmm. But what's something you've learned from him over the course of the last couple of weeks?
I would say, aside from that, I need to be tossing my serve higher. Okay. Just consistency, I guess, a little bit of what Nick said, making sure that you're a match isn't lost until it's lost. You got to keep playing, you got to keep going. That's something that Coach Maley has really instilled in us, I guess.
Excellent. I like the answers. It's always good to hear positive things about our coaches who are doing a good job on every sport here at the high school. Next question is growing the program. So it's a two-part question. One thing is and I think, Nick, you touched a little bit on this, coaches around town. What's one way we grow the program? What's one way, ideas you would have to help grow the program, go from 10 to 15 to 20? And the next question is, what would you tell the fifth grader who wants to play high school tennis? Nick, we're going to start with you.
So first of all, I think we had a younger kid practice with us a little bit earlier. He did really well, and I think just keep having it feel like an open team. You know, like as soon as you get old enough, you're gonna have a spot here if you work hard. And what was the second part of your question?
And this fifth grade. I'm a parent of a fifth grader.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking, do I play tennis or not? What are the advantages?
Yes.
What are the good things about playing tennis and that sort of thing? What would you tell both the parent and the child about Wilmington High School tennis?
Well, a great thing about tennis is you can step into it at any point, right? And like I said, I really started playing in 8th grade, and now I'm second singles. I'm the captain of the team, right? And you can have an important role on the team without playing since you were 3 years old. And it can be a harsh sport, but it's also forgiving. You know, you lose a point, you're still in the match. It's not like a lot of sports where a mistake can really kill you.
Okay. And Evander, same question to you. How do we grow the program? As I think we said we have 10. I think the girls' program has 17.
Only 17. Last year it was like 22.
Okay, so how do we continue to grow the program, and what would your advice be to the 5th or 4th grader who wants to take up tennis and their parent?
Yeah, like Nick said, just it's keeping the team kind of open, making sure that everyone knows there's a place for them if they want it. The reaching out to middle school, I guess, running the camps over the summer so people can kind of get into tennis. And what I'd tell a 5th grader is, like, try it out. Hit with a friend, hit with your parents, go to some, like, local clinic or something, see if you like it. And if you do like tennis, it's, again, like Nick said, it's you don't got to be playing it your whole life. You don't even have to be, like, particularly good when you join a high school tennis team. They teach you how to be good.
Good. All right, now this one is not written down. I've come up with this as I sit here. I want you to fill in the blank, both of you. It's really very basic. Wilmington High School tennis is. Evander, you're first.
Fun.
Okay. Nick, Wilmington High School tennis is. It doesn't have to be one word, but.
Mm-hmm. It is. I mean, yeah, fun, but it's competitive. It feels like. Yeah, it's a tough question.
I know. That's why we ask them here.
Mm-hmm.
I get to sit in this chair and ask the questions. That's fine. I like to just, like, if you were going to sell the program, how would you sell it?
It's rewarding.
It's really rewarding. If you put the effort in, there's nothing, like, I played 3 sports. There's almost nothing as exciting as being in a close point, like a long rally when you're hitting good shots and your serve is going in. It's unlike any other feeling.
Okay, and final question on tennis. Evander, do the tennis players have a nickname for you, and what is it?
Not really.
Not yet?
People mostly just call me Evander if they refer to me at all.
Okay. No, not hey you?
Occasionally, I'm sure.
All right, Nick?
Well, I'm Deej. My dad was Deej. My uncle was Deej. I mean...
Is your sister Deej too?
No.
No?
I've never heard that one.
Okay, good. And now comes my favorite part of the program, where I get to talk to you, ask you individual questions, and really get to learn what our high school senior and athletes are like, and what makes them tick, and all that sort of fun stuff. So, Nick, you get to be last for this. So Evander's going to be in the hot seat first, has to answer the questions. So Nick's going to get to hear the questions. But Evander's been in front of the camera a little bit, so I have a lot of faith that they can really answer the questions as well. So I hate to put you on the spot, Evander, but it's time for Coach Boyle to take Evander on. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Present or former teammate you learned the most from?
I would say this one. The level of play is higher than the last one. I feel like I'm playing against better players overall. Me personally, not that there weren't really good players on my last team, but it's definitely helped me improve my game at a faster rate.
Okay, is there someone in particular who helped influence you? And not a player, a former player that helped you along the way, all the 4 or 5 years you've been involved in tennis.
I'm honestly gonna say Shibangi Tripathi.
Uh-huh.
She's one of the captains on the girls' team. We've been friends for a while, and when I played with her, I definitely helped a lot.
Excellent, excellent. And she was just on the show with the girls' team. What got you started in tennis?
I guess my dad, he used to play tennis. He was a doubles player like me. And he would sign me up for summer camps, I think, like Nick. And yeah, I liked it.
And then you just told me in the hallway you came back from Florida and played your grandfather?
Yes, my grandpa still plays tennis. So I played with him. 85 degrees tennis. That part wasn't fun.
That's because we're not used to that weather here in Wilmington.
Yeah.
Other sports and/or activities you do at Wilmington High School. List them all. I know you got to.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, I'm vice president of the Model UN. I'm strategy leader for the robotics team. We had a really good run. We went to states. I act and do crew from time to time with Lamplighters Drama Club. Yeah, I think that's most of it with the high school.
Good. Top moments in tennis, in your whole tennis career. What's the number one moment for you? Doesn't have to be individual, can be team-wise too.
In this season, Tyler and I had a match. It was against either Stoneham or Watertown. I don't remember which. And we won our first set like 6-1, and then our second set we got to being down 2-5, and you only need 6 to win. So our opponents only needed one more game to get that set, and then we'd go into a third set. So it wouldn't have lost us the game, but and you need to win by 2. So Tyler and I needed to get to 7, and we slowly we got all 5 of those games in a row, and they weren't all easy. Like we had some we needed to fight out over deuces, and we got the 5 in a row to win 7-5 in that match, and that was really satisfying.
Excellent. That's a good answer. Favorite athlete or role model? Your athletic role model for you? Who would that be?
When I was a kid, I really admired Mia Hamm. I don't play soccer so much anymore, but I would say she's definitely the biggest influence for me.
Okay, and we talked about your father being a tennis player, but are there any other people who influenced you and coaches that you really want to credit, former coaches you really want to credit? So let's start with influencing you, and you can say your dad again or your grandfather, which I think is a great story, and coaches you want to credit.
Yeah, definitely my dad and my grandfather. I mentioned my dad. My grandfather is actually on my mom's side, so that's not my dad's dad.
Okay.
And I've played with both of them a lot. And coaches, I guess in the off season I do tennis at the Woburn Racket Club. So I guess Sam, he's the head coach for Melrose, has definitely helped me improve my game a lot, which will make it only better when I defeat Melrose next time.
There you go. I like that answer. We're not going to do walk-up songs, so you guys told me earlier that we don't have walk-up songs for tennis. Here's a question I ask everybody, because Nick will know this because he's got 2 sports. If you had to wear a number for tennis, what number would it be, and why would you wear that number?
It would be 12, because that's the number that I wore for soccer since 3rd grade through 9th, maybe.
Excellent. So 12.
Yes, 12 has been my number.
And then something that you learned from athletics that you can apply to the classroom.
I guess kind of like getting back up. That's been a big thing that I've learned in athletics. In soccer you fall down, you roll over, and you get back up. Tennis, you're down 2-5 and you just keep playing. And I feel like that kind of like, sure, you lose, you make a mistake, you fail, whatever, but you can keep going. I feel like that's something that I can apply to the classroom when I get a bad grade on a test or an AP Lit essay. It's like, well, that just means I need to work harder and do better next time.
And what are you going to miss the most about high school athletics?
That's a good question. I would say I can't say the team and the sport. I there's just there's so much that I get out of just like going outside and playing a sport every single day. That's something I really love when I get to the spring, that I'm just active all the time doing this thing that I love, like moving around. It's so much fun. It's so rewarding, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing in college sports wise. I want to play a sport, but I don't know what it's going to be, and I don't know what it's going to look like. So I would say that kind of consistent fun exercise I'm going to miss the most.
Excellent. And what's the future hold for Evander Ragsdale?
I will be going to Skidmore College. It's in Saratoga Springs for English and creative writing. Yeah, I plan on doing a sport, might keep up with tennis, not like
Good.
for the school, but intramural type stuff. I'm gonna be writing a lot, learning a lot. I'm very excited.
Excellent. All right, Nick, you get to go next. Now that you've heard all the questions, maybe I'll change the order around. They're not that difficult. Great job by Evander. First question for Nick is present or former teammate, doesn't have to be just in tennis, who you've learned the most from?
It's got to be Ryan Weinstein. I played doubles with him 2 years ago and last year. He's helped me through pretty much all the varsity tennis I've ever played.
Okay. Other sports and or activities you do at the high school?
I play hockey and soccer.
All right. Favorite moment, tennis, lifetime, and this and last year? So
For that, it's got to be sophomore year, right at the last match of the season. I've been like a backup player all year. I kind of filled in when people were hurt or out somehow. And the last match of the season, an important match against Burlington, we had two kids gone for a band concert, and I played first doubles with Ryan, and we won a tough match. We lost the first set. And won the second in like a long tiebreaker. I think it was 10-12 or 12-10 something in the tiebreaker, and I earned my spot on varsity for the playoffs in that match.
Excellent. Favorite athlete or role model or tennis player? You take your choice.
For a tennis player, it's got to be Novak Djokovic.
Okay.
When I started watching, I liked watching Federer, but I started watching right about when he retired, and then Novak Djokovic is just like he's insane. How great a returner he is, how consistent on the court. I've tried to model my game after him.
Okay, good. He's not a bad place to model it after either. Now I'm going to put influences. What got you started in tennis, and who are your tennis influences?
Well, what got me started really, like I played a little bit. My dad's cousin and his kids are really good. Like two of them are already playing D1 tennis. The third is gonna play D1 tennis. So that was pretty cool to watch them play. But really just the opportunity to get the 8th grade waiver.
Okay.
I never really thought about playing in high school until then.
Okay, and who have been your influences? And after that, coaches you want to credit?
Mm-hmm. My dad I played a lot with. He played in high school. And for a coach, there's really no one that comes close to Maley. He's been, I played with Sam. I played 1 year at Woburn, but nothing compared to what Maley's done for me.
Excellent. What number do you wear and why? Or you don't have numbers in tennis, but soccer and hockey. And if you had tennis numbers, what would it be and why?
I wear 18 in hockey and soccer. It was my dad's number. It feels right.
That is a very good reason to wear the number 18 then. Something you learned from athletics that you can take into the classroom?
I feel like it's the work outside of practice or outside of class that you need to put in to really be good. Like you can't just show up for class or practice every day and expect to play at the top of or reach whatever goal you want to reach. You got to really go after practice, like weekend mornings, hit serves, or do your homework, study.
Okay, excellent. What are you going to miss the most?
It's got to be the competition. There's been nothing in my life like high school sports where it's really brought out as the peak of what I feel like I can do. Like the high level of competition, the teammates, but also the opponents that you really want to beat.
Good. I like that answer. Two really good answers here this morning. What's the future for Nick DiGiovanni?
I'm going to be going to Holy Cross for biology. Hopefully go to medical school afterwards. And I'd like to play tennis. I'm not sure if I'll play varsity, but maybe club or something.
I have to say real quick, we're going to do shout out next, but I have these two student athletes going to really good schools. It's great to have great student athletes because the student is part of both of you guys going to Skidmore and Holy Cross. So I really appreciate you coming in. But before we leave, we're going to do a little shout out. So Evander, you're going to look straight into that camera and give it and shout it. And anybody you want, make sure you don't forget anybody. Deej, you're going to do the same thing to this camera right here. So are you ready? So you're up first, Evander.
Shout out whoever I want.
Whoever you want. Look into the camera though. Don't look at me.
Okay. Shout out to my mom and dad because I'm basic, and my little siblings because they're great.
All right. And Deej, you're next right there.
Yeah, my parents too, and then my two little sisters and my cousins on both sides.
Okay. Excellent. Like I said, I'm glad you came on to represent boys tennis. Evander was a senior, and Mark Deej as a senior and a captain. Great you come on. You really did a great job explaining how it works and really getting deep into what Wilmington High School athletes and the such are like. So, like I said, I'd like to thank Nick and Evander for coming in, and really appreciate the talk that we had. And for Wildcat Sports Update, I'm your host, Jim Boyle, and we'll see you on down the road.